spot back.
I did.
Fresh. Yeah. We're gonna stand right here, so we're not in nobody's way.
Oh, you're good.
But that way we can see.
Awesome.
Such exciting times. It is. He's trying to make his way in here. He's in there.
Oh, good. We are standing by for
No idea. She probably doesn't. What did you say? Is that the consent?
Oh, I don't know what they are.
they look like kudos.
What is it?
Kudos?
Tutus?
Kudu. K-U-D-U. I think they're kudos.
I have no clue.
It's beautiful. That's what I say.
I know they're out.
Shot him right.
Somebody did.
It was St. Clair.
Somebody did. I don't think I did.
Or at least you don't remember.
Are you good?
I usually remember. The things I don't want to remember. Somebody's got this room set at 66. So I don't know if it's desirable for everybody. I guess we'll all live. 66.
I'm fine. I'm actually kind of sweating over here, and it's gonna get worse when more people come in here.
That's okay. It's pretty warm that way.
Yeah, that's why I came back in here.
If you can hear me on the audio, would you go ahead and let me know in the chat, please?
Yes, sir.
How are y'all doing? Everybody just standing looking at each other. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Thank y'all for coming out.
Well, I'm Charlie Hildner, Chair of the Comanche County Republican Party. You can find us online and on Facebook. We'd love to have your involvement. We're having candidates for lunch and our evening meetings January through May, the third Tuesday of each month. Third Tuesday is GOP Day. We'll have candidates coming through, so look us up, join us from the candidates. Heck yeah! There's my shameless plug. Thank you. Oh, is that you? Yes. Oh, that's nice to meet you. Let me give you mine. It's good to put a face to these things. I've been watching it on you on.
Hopefully you like it.
Oh, because I didn't get the name.
Okay, let's see what we can do on the audio.
Okay, thank you.
You know, my shame in it, right?
Is that better on the audio?
We got an
If somebody
election
can say hello on the audio?
Yes.
I got it. Any audio problems? Audio? Can we hear the audio? Audio. Testing audio. Can we hear the audio? I'd like to make sure we can hear the audio before we get started. Anybody? We're trying to do the audio again. Any audio? Testing one. Let's see if we can hear audio. Audio. Can anybody hear the audio? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can we all hear the audio? If somebody could comment so I can make sure we have this done. Make sure we have this done. Yep, we got audio.
It's just don't block the camera.
Oh, you're good.
How are you, madam? Thank you. Has Devin seen you yet? She hasn't. I want to see what she How are you, sir?
Again, welcome back to Lawton.
It was good. Last time I saw you, we were in the nation's capital. So yeah. Thank y'all for being here. Really a privilege. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Thank you. Good. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
My husband said to tell you he's gonna miss you on this next.
Oh, well, your husband's very kind.
We are very.
Well, I appreciate you. How do you all do it? Do y'all, is it on direct TV?
YouTube TV.
YouTube TV. Yeah.
I had to like.
She's straight to me.
All right. You're like my dad. Oh, you're very kind.
Yeah, my dad will call me and say, TV, I was on Newsmax, so I'll get dressed and go down there and have coffee.
Oh, so kind.
Yeah.
so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yes.
I love it.
I love all, everybody there. They're great.
Carl is our favorite player on there. And the evening, like,
Carl's the best.
so funny.
And the thing is, that's really cool. Like, that is, you know, it's through and through. It's
That's
not
what my husband is.
Hello, I'm Garrett with the Lawton Town Crier. Nice to meet you.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, no problem. No
So
problem.
are you in charge of all of this?
No, just this camera. Yeah, I teach in the day and I do this at night.
Where do you teach?
MacArthur High School.
MacArthur, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I went to Eisenhower,
I taught there for the last 4 years, and
graduated in 1999.
you're a young
What do you
thing.
teach?
I'm a special ed teacher.
Okay, so when we were at Eisenhower, we had a special ed class, I remember, because I was in theater, and we were trying to did like a program for their special ed. I thought Eisenhower did a good job.
They do. All the schools do an excellent job of special ed.
And it's important to let students know, like, they matter, you know, not just a holding place, but there are things that they can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for the work that you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
Barbara, Deb, and Shannon.
Hi. I'm
It's my pleasure.
we was telling Stevia that we love
Do you think
my husband's like a 6, I love a 7. Yeah.
Oh, and then my dad,
All day long.
my dad told me, I would offer to down on my knees and all the girls would have to help me.
Rather than hold these cards, I'll pass them out. This is my business card. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Hillary. Thank you.
Yes. Really? And Dr. Adams?
We went to the
primaries.
I live it burned a couple years ago. That's where I live.
We've graded the cars this summer. Right, so well, we have a campground. But yes,
Okay, we live here my house is Florida. It's 1870. My house. That's my house. That's my house, and you see Mount Scott. And you see Mount Scott. And then you see Ben, since you brought that up too, like I always bring something.
Matt, how you doing?
I was happy I didn't stay yesterday because nothing happened.
I know. One of those things.
But I watched it.
I know. Lessons are learned that way.
Yes, yes.
How are y'all doing tonight? Nice.
Looking for a warm spot out the window.
Hey everybody, I just want to take a minute and welcome you to Lawton Constitution as we let our friend here, hometown guy, Mr. Speaker, make an announcement here, and we're excited and thank each and every one of you for coming, and thank you for coming to our building here. We purchased the Lawton Constitution last year, and JJ, the editor here, can give some tours, I bet. Are y'all printing papers right now? I don't know where you're at. He might be back there printing papers. I don't know. But anyways, without further ado, the guest of honor here, sir. Yep.
Hey, can everybody do me a favor? I know it's a bunch of back row Baptists in this room. Just kind of pull in a little bit. It'll help. Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to ask you for any money tonight, so don't come in here. Now, you're welcome to give it, but I'm not going to directly make the ask. Well, first, let me tell you, it is good to be home. It is a pleasure to be home in Lawton, America, the place that shaped me to be the person that I am right now. I've spent the last 12 months in Washington, D.C., and I was telling my son drove us here. He's 16 now. I was in the back seat. I tried not to do too much back seat, but he did a great job and got us here. And I told him as we were turning the corner there on I-44, and you can find it the first time you see those mountains. It reminded me when I would drive back and forth to the Capitol when I was serving with Representative Don Arms, who has been a friend and mentor of mine for years. When we were driving back and forth, and I drove back about every night before I became Speaker of the House, the first time I would see those mountains, I would know I was almost home. I can get emotional about it even right now. It does something to you coming home. There's nothing like it. And being here tonight, the Constitution, back in really good hands, is a really important thing, too. So let's first of all give a hand clap to the Hillarys. Not just who they are, but what they mean to this community. I mean, they've come in and basically been amazing leaders, not just here in the city, but also in the state too. So Dustin, I appreciate your friendship and the whole group of Hillary family. Spent some time with them at the inauguration when we went to see who I believe is the greatest president in American history. Yes. We spent some time there, bumped into each other. It was really cold that night, very cold that night, and we found each other for sure. But I do want to recognize some folks that are here. Number one, my dad is here, Wayne Shannon, a long time. He brought with him a very special friend of his and our family, Miss Alice, who we love to death. And then my sister Desiree is here also too. And as little brother, I must say, my much older sister. I can't. Every speech I've ever given, I've had to say that. Nobody ever believes it because she's so beautiful inside and out. But, she really is. But I also want to recognize. I've already mentioned him. My son Tarahan is here. He's 16. This is home for us for sure. And then my daughter Audrey, she's 20. She's a junior now in college. She's a junior in high school. And then the love of my life, who I actually met in this city 25 years. Well, I met her 26 years ago. We'll be married 25 years this year. The heart of my love, Devin Shannon, she's here as well. So it has been, as I mentioned, it's good to be home. It's been 12 months of spending time in D.C., waking up every single day, working to put the America First agenda into action for the American people. When I got the call to go serve in the Trump administration, I didn't hesitate to say yes, because I do believe it's possible to make America great again. Yes. But it's the time to come home. And the reason I came home is because I believe Oklahoma can be even greater. Yes. And I think a lot about how do we do that? How do you start to make a place that's a really good place to live, and we've got a lot of great things about it. How do you make it even greater? Well, the first thing is you get active, you get involved, and that's why I'm running for lieutenant governor, because I believe I can be the next lieutenant governor of Oklahoma. And the question then becomes why? Why do you want to serve? Well, I will tell you this, to whom much is given, much is required. And I can tell you this city, this state, and this country have been extraordinarily good to me and my family. I grew up here in Lawton. This is home. My dad grew up here in Lawton. I'm a 6th generation Oklahoman, a 2nd generation Lawtonian, and my son was born here. I was married in this town, and it means to me. And in fact, when I was in high school, that man with that cowboy hat right there, Don Harmon, even though we got a chance to serve together, he was actually the ag teacher at my high school when I was there. And while we were serving, Ann Cootie, who we love and adore as well, she was his high school principal.
That's right.
And he was, not only was he the ag teacher, but he was my class sponsor too. And so the connections run deep here. But the reason I'm running for lieutenant governor is because of those two people right there, my daughter and my son. I want them to stay here if they want to stay here. I want them to have opportunities that I have, because Oklahoma is great. They don't have to go to Texas. If they want to go to Texas, they're wrong and I'm not paying for it. but if they want to go to Texas or they want to go somewhere else, they can. But I don't want them to go because they have to. And we've seen what a difference leadership can make. We saw it in Washington. We've seen it happen in spurts here in Oklahoma. You know, the real function of a lieutenant governor, though, the number one duty of a lieutenant governor is to make sure if something happens that the governor cannot or will not serve, you can serve from day one. And I think I have a record that proves that we can do that. When I was in the State House, got the chance to serve as Speaker of the House, not only did we reform welfare requiring a 20-hour work week, again, I believe in helping people, but able-bodied people shouldn't be living off the system forever. And if they do, they should be working. My dad taught me that the only, the best social program in the world is a good paying job. And I believe that for my kids, I believe that for my family, and I believe it for everybody else. Work is what's helped distinguish us from the rest of the world. We also were able, when I was Speaker, to cut taxes, because I just believe the greater the freedom, the greater the prosperity. People are literally trying to get to the United States of America, not because they want to be taxed out of the world. They get here because they want to experience economic freedom. We talk about making America great, and there are three things that make this country great, in my opinion, and it make this state great. Number one is capitalism, the idea of free markets, allowing people to market to decide investment, private investment, not relying on government to be the sole source for every single purchase and decision. That's what capitalism is about. And if you don't believe it, just look at what happened in Venezuela just in less than a generation, how that place, which was a beacon, frankly, prosperity because of their natural resources, with just a little bit of socialism that turns into something very different very quickly. It's become something that nobody wants to be a part of. And if you don't believe that capitalism works, we've got competitors in China, we've got competitors in Russia, but none of those places have immigration problems. Nobody's trying to get, maybe people from North Korea try to get into China if they escape, but no, they don't have immigration problems because they don't have the economy that we have here. The second, I call them the 3 C's. The first one is capitalism. The second one is our Constitution. The idea of liberty, that every single person you make, my parents, they taught me a long time, and from a church just down the road here at 6th and Arlington, I learned that every single person we meet was created in the image of God. And that idea was enshrined in our Constitution. Our Constitution went something a step further. While we were in D.C., my family and I, we got to go to Monticello, to Thomas Jefferson's home, and we saw firsthand how a guy had a revolutionary idea that the rights that we have, they don't come from any government, they come from God. And that was a revolutionary idea at the time, and something that we take for granted. But the third C, obviously capitalism, the Constitution are really important, but the third, and maybe the most important one, is our Christian faith. There's a reason that we have the ideas of free markets. There's a reason that we have the idea of personal liberty, but also personal responsibility, and that comes from our Christian heritage. The fact that we believe that even people have the ability to worship as they see fit, that's a Christian idea. And I'm here today with the guy, Gardner Roby. He's my campaign manager. We were 2 nights ago, we traveled the state. We started this campaign kickoff 2 days ago. We were in Bartlesville. This is one day, and then we went to Tulsa. Then we were in Enid, and then we ended the day in Woodward. I keep forgetting Woodward. We woke up this morning, and we started the day We're in Weatherford, and then we went to Oklahoma City, and we've come back here to Lawton to end our kickoff part of our campaign. But we're going back to Weatherford tomorrow for a bunch of meetings and meeting some folks out there. But we started that, and the thing that when we were driving up to Bartlesville, we stopped off in Broken Arrow. You may not, I don't know if you've heard about this, what happened in Broken Arrow. I used to see some folks shaking heads there in Broken Arrow. We stopped there because there was a mosque being built there. But it wasn't just a mosque, it was an Islamic center. And after some investigation was done, it was found that the folks that own the land there are now under investigation by our Attorney General because they have connections to the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, that's not happening on the East Coast and the West Coast. That's happening right here in our backyard in Oklahoma. And I say all that to say is, we know that those are spiritual battles.
Yes.
You know, every battle is not with flesh and blood. There are battles that are much stronger, that are spiritual, and we know that that's one of them. And we were able to win. But they underestimated, like they often do, they underestimated the will of we the people and the resolve of we the people. And so I'm very proud that the Broken Arrow City Council voted that measure down. But those 3 C's, I think, are what made people recognize how great the United States of America is, and particularly Oklahoma. But being Lieutenant Governor, the reason I want to run is because I actually believe, just like I did when I can't believe it was 20 years ago this year that I was first elected to the Oklahoma legislature. That was 20 years ago when I was knocking doors. And I would tell you, when I was knocking doors on the west side of Lawton, people told me 3 things. They told us 3 things over and over. Audrey was just about 6 months old, maybe less than that when we started. She's 20 now, that's why I know it was 20 years. They told me 3 things when I knocked on doors, Dustin. They said, fix our roads, fix our schools, and leave us the hell alone. That's what people told me over and over again. And as your next Lieutenant Governor, that's exactly what I think we need to do. I believe in limited government, and I also believe that the role of the Lieutenant Governor by Constitution has to be concerned about our tourism department. Oklahoma has a lot to offer. Another real duty of a Lieutenant Governor is to be a salesperson. And nobody, as a 6th generation Oklahoman, a 2nd generation Lawtonian, there's not a person you know that loves this state more, that has spent more time here, choosing to work here, choosing to live here, and hopefully choosing to make it a better place. So I'm happy to cut it off there. It's late, I know. I'm happy to answer questions, maybe a few, but we can just sit and mingle too if you like. Yes, ma'am.
Since you have a captive audience, would you talk to us about 836?
Yeah, tell me, is this the?
State question 836.
Oh,
for double
836 to do
primaries.
it, yeah. Absolutely no on open primaries. We don't need a system like that. I think I'm a big believer in the 2-party system. You pick your guy, we pick our guy or gal, and they can, make a decision there. So no, I'm an absolute no on 836. But I say that to say, you don't need to be a yes or no because of some guy running for office. You make your own decisions about it. But I will tell you, that is the wrong decision for my personal belief. We don't need a system like that. That's Californiaing our Oklahoman, and I'm a no.
Amen.
Amen, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Garrett Jackson with the Lawton Town Crier.
Yeah.
My question has to do with the oil field. Oklahoma's oil industry has provided so much funding to the state. What are you going to do to help the oil industry here in Oklahoma?
As I said before, the greater the freedom, the greater the wealth. When I was in Oklahoma legislature, I opposed increasing taxes on the oil industry. I think there was one after I left, because I know every time you tax and take money away from an organization, there's less jobs and there's less fuel. The other thing I think we got to be very thoughtful about is, the way that we're approaching our energy costs. Donald Trump has been very clear about, making energy affordable again. And he's done that. We see that there are 48 states now that have affordable gas prices under $3 a barrel. The truth is, we need to be drilling more, not less. And the only way you do that, capital is a coward. It will not flow to a hostile environment. And you have to make your regulatory body as friendly as possible and be good stewards of your resources. And our energy industry in Oklahoma has proven you can do both.
I like that, yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm happy to cut it off there. I know it's late on. Yes, sir.
With all that's going on in Minnesota, does Oklahoma have a DOGE department?
So as I understand it, Governor Stitt did make an effort last session to create such a department. I'll say this to you. I told you, and I'm gonna keep my promise. I'm not gonna ask you directly for money. But the reality is, speaking of Minnesota, we've all saw the Somali fraud and what's happening there. It's just disgusting that people take advantage of the system. I don't care what you look like. A thief is a thief, and I don't care where you come from. A thief is a thief. But I'll tell you this: in running for office, making sure that we do our part to hold people accountable who do wrong is important. Whether it's through an Oklahoma agency called DOGE, or it's just having elected officials that believe in the rule of law, I think that's the most important thing. And so I don't know directly the answer if we haven't done. We did when I served in the legislature. I know there was an effort. I can't remember if it got signed. I know there was an effort by Governor Stitt to get it done, but I don't remember if it was actually passed. But if it's not, we need it. We need. I was in D.C. with DOGE. In fact, working as senior advisor to the Trump administration. We had to work with, particularly when I first got there, early February, we had to work with the DOGE agents, and a lot of them, they were some young kids. I mean, they were little smart kids, maybe 20-something. But of course, in DC, it's a young town. I mean, you might talk to some 29-year-old, and they've got some fancy title, and they've got a $43 billion budget. I mean, which tells you what's wrong with Washington, D.C. But you talk to these DOGE agents that were, there, and they really provided extraordinary value because government's gotten way too big. Listen, 1 out of every $3 that we make goes to some government. One out of every three dollars that we make goes to some government fee or tax. In my opinion, that's enough. That's enough. Now, my dad, I'm not endorsing this for any newspaper, this policy, but my dad always had the simplest tax policy. He just says, when you turn 65, you shouldn't have to pay any taxes at all. So I've always thought that was interesting. I see a lot of 65-year-olds saying, I know. Funny how that works. But direct answer to your question, I'm not sure yet. I need to research if that actually got passed. If it hasn't, it needs to. We spend, the budget in Oklahoma has grown. When Don Harms and I were legislators, we were appropriating about $7 or $8 billion a year. That's up to about 16 or 17 billion. Yeah, that's doubled in 13 years. Raise your hand if you're in the same job and your salary has doubled in 13. I mean, that's not the way the world works. Only in government does that happen. And guess where that comes from? Your pockets. I mean, you know that better than anybody. Well, let me cut it off there. I'll end on this note. You talked about Minnesota. I'm not going to ask you directly for money, but obviously it takes money to run campaigns. I'll be back for another visit to ask you directly for money. But we could certainly use the help now if you'd like to, because we searched. Dustin, I know you're on my list. I called you when I wanted to run. I have asked him for money for sure. I have, but I looked and he said, make sure you look at your entire list. And I've looked at it 3 or 4 times. I've combed over my list. I've tried to get through all the calls, and I'm not even halfway through yet. But I can tell you, I've looked over it. I don't have one Somali daycare owner that's ever given me. And so if I'm going to be successful, I'm going to need the people from my hometown to chip in, because I think we can do that. I don't know if we've ever had a lieutenant governor from here, but I can tell you, we haven't done polling in my campaign yet because we're just getting started, but the early polling has us way ahead right now, and all we got to do is go execute. We're going to be successful. Let me say this in closing. I was talking about 20 years ago. I am feeling a little nostalgic here, so I'll try not to go on and on. I see Tracy here, who works here at Hillary Communications. We used to work together at the radio station at Perry Broadcasting. I won't mention how many years ago that was. But when I think about, we were talking about, my daughter Audrey. I think about, a few years after I was in the legislature, she must have been 4 or 5, and she really wanted the Barbie Dreamhouse. And we had talked about it, Devin and I, about getting one. It's kind of a big, you kind of need a mortgage for the Barbie Dreamhouse. And I wanted to save a few dollars, and I ordered it online. Online ordering wasn't popular like it is now, but I found it and ordered online. It came in time. The only problem was, instead of listening to Devin, like she told me, just go to Toys R Us and get it. It came in, and the instructions were all in Spanish. Every bit was in Spanish, and nobody in my family is bilingual. And I remember looking at that looking at that Barbie Dreamhouse instructions and trying to make heads or tails out of it. It was about 3 or 4 in the morning. And I knew in just a couple of hours, those set of brown eyes, beautiful set of brown eyes, were gonna come running down the stairs expecting to see that Barbie Dreamhouse. And I started to panic a little bit because I don't speak Spanish and it wasn't coming together. And I usually, when I have hard projects, you know, I usually call Dad, but he wouldn't appreciate a 3 a.m. call. So, yes, Spanish either. So what I did, I just sat there and I thought, man, this is a puzzle. I like to do puzzles. Anybody else do puzzles here? And I thought, this is just a puzzle. And what's the most important piece of a puzzle for you puzzle makers? What's the most important? The edge. People say the edges, people say the corners all the time. I want you to know you're wrong. The most important piece of a puzzle is the picture on the box. You gotta know what it's supposed to look like when it's all done. That's how you get a puzzle done. And so I had to go back and get that picture on the box. And when I think about that, I just want to say thank you to folks like the Hillarys and others in this community that have supported me down through the years, and just the good folks of Lawton America, because you really are the picture on the box. You can show the rest of the community what it's supposed to look like. And I just believe, I'm just naive enough to believe that Oklahoma can be the picture on the box, not just for the rest of the United States, for the rest of the world. It just takes leadership and working together. So God bless you. God bless Oklahoma. Hold the cup? No, like it. The rose between the thorns. There you go.